Thank you, Dr. Pankaj Sharma and Dr. Rajkumar Sharma. And good evening, good afternoon, and good morning. This is the 1825th day of continuous webinar conducted by International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy. Today, our guest is Dr. NAJEEB Ahmed. Now, let us begin the session with 1 minute silent prayer. Thank you all. The International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy comprises of homeopathy lovers, students, and doctors, and we have 3 sessions every day. The first session of the day is already over in Hindi from 7:30 to 8:30. From 8:30 to 9:30, we have the international session in English, and from 9:30 to 10:30, we have a local language session in Malayalam. We are uploading the videos of the same on the very next day itself, so that those who miss the session can watch it again. You can subscribe the same without paying any money. You can share it with your friends, whether it be a homeopathic doctor or homeopathic lover, it doesn't matter. The purpose of this forum is to take homeopathy to every home around the world. And as you all know that IFPH is celebrating its 5th anniversary on 28th September at Cochin Vivanda. I hope all of you will register for the same. It is rupees 3,000 per person. There will be some scientific sessions. There will be some short presentation. There will be some discussions, and there will be an interactive session for students and budding homeopathic doctors, as well as there will be some cultural program at the end. So hope all of you will come over in Cochin to watch the same in and not only simply watching, you can share your experience with us, and you can we can meet one-to-one. Just pay rupees 3,000 till now. Hope you will register the same. We are uploading the details of the same in our group. So kindly join us. And if you are not able to come over here, you can donate handsomely for a good purpose. So thank you all for this is a welcome. And now let me come to today's guest, and it is none other than Dr. NAJEEB Ahmed. He has completed BHMS, and later doctor took some other degrees in international level, that is IFM, FINEM, MBA, SCS, and he is an international speaker having 15 years of clinical experiences, has taken to so many sessions in Hindi, in our English, as well as in Malayalam, Zoom webinars. And today, Doctor will be talking about Sleep 101, Essential Science for Clinical Practice, or second part. Already, the first part has been taken. So we proudly welcome the guest of the day, Dr. NAJEEB Ahmed. Welcome, Doctor. You are a co-host, sir.
Done.
Yeah. Yes.
Hi, good evening all. I am now today talking to you from beautiful Kerala, and we are blessed with heavy rains since last many days. And we are all these days we are celebrating our Onam festival. So it all adds my happiness that I want to share with you. So let me come to the topic. Let us talk about testicles. You must be wondering why this guy is talking about testicles, being our topic is about sleep, sleeplessness, and sleep science. Let me explain you. Sleeplessness, of course, that will bring low melatonin. Low melatonin disrupt hormonal balance. Hormonal imbalance will further cause, disruption in the entire hormonal, axis, like high cortisol, low testosterone, kind of thing. So eventually that will cause testicular anomalies and testicular cancer. Testicular cancer further in turn can cause sleeplessness. So it's a vicious cycle. So it is not just testicular cancer or testicles, prostates, testicles, diabetes mellitus, hypertension, dementia to Alzheimer's. Sleep is a very definite etiological factor in almost every chronic conditions, not only in cancer and many other conditions. So it can be a core factor in diseases. It can be a contributing factor. It can be the direct factor, as in many cases. So this is one of the things which is mostly taken for granted by many clinicians. But how much we value sleep in our clinical practice? My video is not there.
Yes, you have not yet opened the video. That's why.
Why? Let me check once. Because I'm joining with my
phone.
let me try that. Since it is my phone, I can't see kind of controls in this.
Just click which phone you are using. iPad.
No, I can't see my.
Just to check. Just click on the screen. On the lower part, we can see audio, video, chat, reaction, participants. Okay, please adjust it little more. Okay, and now it's clear.
Clear, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, clear.
So my voice is clear as
Yes, voice is clear. You can share the screen also from the phone if you.
Since I am using my mobile phone, I may not be able to share the screen, but I can speak to you clearly and coherently so you can understand the topic.
Yes, that's enough. That's enough.
Okay. You know, when I talk about prostate cancer, it is not just prostate cancer. Many other conditions like diabetes to Alzheimer's, sleep is a definite contributing factor. But how much we value the sleep in our day-to-day clinical practice, how much we are literate when it comes to sleep and sleeplessness and its impact in our health and well-being. So it is a big question we need to ask ourselves. And why should we learn it? Okay, there is a growing concern about awareness of sleep. There is a great, impact of sleep in various diseases, and there is a huge momentum of, growing cases of insomnia all around the world, and there are a lot of confusion to ourselves and to the patients regarding the sleep and the sleep as a science. And we can even avoid embarrassment. Sometimes patients might ask you some question about sleep, and if we fumble on that, that may cause some embarrassment. We need to address that as well, and we need to solve our own sleep issues. So that is why I have selected this topic as the topic of the day. And let me tell you the story, the heroes of the sleep. God has created man for mankind. He gave him desires and ambitions and an intestine longer than himself. God gave mankind desires and ambitions and a long intestine, longer than the man himself. But God didn't stop there. He was concerned about the welfare of the masterpiece he has created, the man. To fill his elastic stomach and to fulfill his ambition, God gave man a pair of very efficient arms and legs and a powerful brain, which was relatively larger than any other animals on the earth. Man formed in tribes, worked whole day, and night came, but he didn't know what to do during night. He worked whole night either. So he was doing, overwork during day and night, and with his superior brain and efficient hands, he achieved a lot of great success. But, eventually you are doing day and night job, what will happen? Simple. Overtraining began to take its toll. His organs started to fail, one after other. Aches and pain all over, but no reduction in his ambitions and passions at all. means he's still ambitious and passionate despite having his organs failing. But mankind turned their eyes to God for help. And the God once again, to save the best of his creation, sent the best doctor from the sky, from the heavens, Dr. Hypnos. Have you heard of this name, Hypnos? It is a Greek word for sleep. Let us see. Hypnos knows every cell and chemicals in your body, every tissues and organs inside your body. He is the master of repair, rejuvenation, and restoration, the art of all these kind of jobs. Dr. Hypnos set up his office on earth and started his practice. But whenever Dr. Hypnos touches man's body to repair, people cried out of pain. Dr. Hypnos didn't expect this. He didn't expect that people are going to get hurt out of his treatment. And as you know that Dr. Hypnos came from heavens, and heaven, there is no pain, there is no painkillers. You won't call a place heaven when there is pain and painkillers. So Hypnos came without pain and painkillers. There was no garlic and belladonna, being marketed during those days. It's still so early. Dr. Hypnos couldn't do much for his patients, and he went back to heaven seeking better tools and techniques. During next visit, Dr. Hypnos came with his entire family, and they brought something very precious, very powerful tool, and we call that tool from heaven the sleep. The sleep. Sleep was the heavenly tool he brought from the skies for healing mankind, for keeping mankind out of their pain. They joined their hands to teach mankind how to sleep. So while people are in sleep, they can do their repair job, rejuvenation job, whatever job they are doing, smooth and fine. As you know, while on sleep, there is no senses, so there is no pain either. Dr. Hypnos and family began their spa services. This kind of spa, like repair, rejuvenation, and restoration. Kind of, you go to spa doing all this. So while we sleep, we are, actually enjoying all these services without paying a single penny. While keeping man asleep, Dr. Hypnos and his family, turn by turn, started treating people under the spell of sleep. Pasitia, Dr. Hypnos' wife, she was the first one to take the duty. The first in the duty roster, she was the first one to start the duty. Okay, she started sleep stage 1 called alpha state. It is a transition between the wakefulness and sleep. So it is a kind of tunnel, okay, that you fall in to reach to a wonderland, as if that happened in the Alice in Wonderland, Alice in Wonderland story. So sleep stage 1 is a transition period, and during this period, Pasithia, she lit some incense, made the room cool, hums a lullaby, and lulls man into a soft slumber. This kind of transition, you are not either asleep, you are not awake as well. Calm, gentle, soft, soothing, and relaxing, and meditative intonation and incantation of Pasithia, we slowly and gradually fall into deeper states. Stage 2, Hypnos himself takes in charge. In stage 2, otherwise we call N2, or non-REM sleep 2. This is otherwise called theta stage, according to the wave. There are electromagnetic brain waves for every stage of sleep. This is called alpha stage. Is the first stage where we start our sleep, or that transition phase. The stage 2 is theta stage, not beta, it is theta. Here we have regulatory mode. Our body will be having a lower temperature, body's temperature will be reduced or slowing down, our heart will be slowing down, our respiration will be slowing down, kind of changes, and body temperature will be reducing. These are the things which will happen during the regulatory mode, and a lot of other activities will happen during the regulatory mode, like restoration, rejuvenation is happening in the early stage of restoration, and rejuvenation is happening in the regulatory phase. But basically, the basic, that is a stage where we will go to the deeper stages of sleep. During deeper sleep, hypnosis again will be very active with some other, assisting characters. Hypnosis taking charge and K2 and delta stage. Here, body's restoration will be very active. That is, we call more restoring sleep, where bodily restoration, not mental restoration, bodily restoration is called K stage or stage 3. And hypnosis is the main character there. So that means the main sleep activity is happening there in that. Okay. And stage 4, okay, we talk about our hardware, like body, muscles, ligaments, and joints. Okay. Stage 2, stage 1, stage 2, and all bodily activity will be very actively happening. And stage 3, again, the deeper restoration will happen, bodily restoration will happen. But stage 4 is something for brain. Stage 1, stage 2 again, stage 1 and 2, of course, there are a lot of brain, calming activities happening there. But actual, brain restoration is happening during REM sleep, or otherwise called rapid eye movement sleep. There are two sons of Pasithia and Dr. Hypnos, named Morpheus and Panthosis. These fantastic sons of these great heroes, they are in action. They are the young chaps. They have all the charms and magic with them, and they can do a lot of magic. They bring all the imagination. They bring all the software activities of your brain. They declutter your brain. They restore your files of your brain. They bring all the rebooting of your system. They do all kind of software activities they will engage in the REM stage, so that they will, how they do that? They brought in a lot of dreams, of course. Dream is not simply dream. They have a great role in enhancing our memory registration and memory restoration. Memories what you call otherwise called memories classification and all. So this is something which happened during the REM stage, okay, or otherwise called mind restoration stage. So stage 3 and 4 is hypnosis and Pasithia. Stage 1 and 2 is hypnosis alone, and stage REM, Morpheus and Panthosis. So why am I telling you all these Greek mythology and kind of stories in a scientific session like this? It is obvious that ancient Greeks knew better than many of our modern doctors about stages of sleep. And how much we know about the stages of sleep? So it's a big question we need to ask ourselves. They had a specialist for every department of sleep, from the starting to end, step by step, stage to stage. So this is very interesting to know that even the ancient wisdom was addressing all this. And still we are sleeping on the science of sleep without knowing and what the science is talking about. So let me come to the real science. So today we will just go through some topics like sleep, heroes. Already we have covered that. Sleep and brain. What is happening in your brain while you sleep? How brain controls your sleep? Why sleep matters? Circadian rhythm or sleep cycle and stages of sleep in brief. And there is something called QQRT, quality, quantity, regulation, and temperature. That is something which we can, grade and classify how good our sleep is. How do we sleep? Let us peek into some little science on that. Sleep and our brain. Retinas. Let us start from the retinas. Okay, perception of the retina's job is to see light, kind of perception of light. It differentiates day and night. Sleep happens during night, and for many of us, unless you are working in an overseas company, unless you are working on night shift. So most of us, our sleep happens during. So retina plays a very important role in filtering, addressing, recognizing, sending message to a hypothalamus about what is happening there. It's a kind of, light post or check, watchtower. Retina sees the light come from the farthest corner, and it is tell our body, our brain, or hypothalamus that night has come. It is time for sleep. Then hypothalamus, the central command of a sleep. That is the most important area where sleep is being controlled. Hypothalamus it regulates our temperature, of course. Temperature is very important in sleep, of course. Hunger, mood, everything is very important for our sleep, of course. And it produces a series of hormones that will eventually take you to various stages of sleep. So hypothalamus is actively engaged in every aspect of sleep, every stage of sleep. Again,
yes, doctor need to come over here once again. Till then, we can have some talk. As we all know that homeopathy has a solution for all these things, because sleep is one of the area that troubles most of the pace I can make you. Please unmute.
yes.
Yes, network problem is there.
Yeah, still there. I don't know why. When I was in Dubai, this was not there. Now in India, I am finding some network, unfortunately. So let's find that, and let us go forward. Let us put forward. Okay. So I talk about retinas, hypothalamus, and suprachiasmatic nucleus. Hope you have heard of that. Have you heard of that?
Yes, from continue. Just some 1 minute we lost.
No, 1 minute only. Fourth. Good. So let me go to next area of our brain, which is addressing and controlling sleep, which is called reticular activating system. Okay, a mother sleeps in her hut besides a busy railway track, and trains are soaring and roaring and whistling and shaking the whole hut every now and then. Mother sleeps without any problem. After some time, a tiny baby weans and cries, and mother wakes up. You know what happened there? The mother was woken up by her reticular activating system, not by the train. The mother had a filter. What happens? Mother has given a priority for baby's cry than train. So it is not the size of noise. It is the priority of your brain, and it is the filter your brain has put forth for various scenarios and situations. So reticular activating system is the filter for our sensory information, promoting wakefulness and transmitting sensory signals from cerebral cortex to hypothalamus. Now it is cerebral cortex. It is our place where we store our thoughts and memories, and the sleep is one of the main, tool that we use to organize our memories, to process our thoughts, and to do a lot of cognitive understanding and behavior. So cerebral cortex plays an important role in that. Next one is pineal gland, is the mysterious part of a brain. There's a lot of confusion, a lot of arguments happening around this tiny glands, about the role of its its job in our body during sleep, during our other activities. So we know melatonin is the hormone which is principally coming from can you hear me?
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Pineal gland is something which makes these hormones called melatonin, which is the principal hormone of sleep, and otherwise we see pineal gland as a seat of a soul, like Spinoza said about that, taught about that. Pineal gland is a seat of soul and seat of sleep as well. So soul and sleep has some connection, of course. So this is major area where 6 of those major centers which plays a crucial role in our sleep. Coming to circadian rhythm or the sleep-wake homeostasis, okay? There are a lot of drama which play by inimical chemicals, just like our sepia and black acids. One will rise, other will fall. One will come in, other will hide. This hide and seek is happening between various hormones in various stages of our day-night, circadian rhythm, during sleep, during wakeful, during morning, evening. All these chemicals play a kind of hide and seek role in controlling and monitoring our day-to-day activities. So without this hide and seek, we cannot survive. So first two things are body temperature and melatonin, of course. Body temperature and melatonin has a sepia-laxasis relation. They are inimical. When there is too much of melatonin, there will be very low body temperature. When there is very high body temperature, there will be low melatonin. So during night, we need a lot of melatonin. That means, obviously, we need lower body temperature. So we need to cool our body, down to some sub levels so that we can sleep better. So, and vice versa, when melatonin is soaring up, our body temperature will come down eventually. So we'll be having a kind of daytime relation where body temperature will be high, melatonin will be low. During night, opposite of that, melatonin will be high, body temperature will be low. This is the seesaw relation for melatonin and body temperature. Coming to the next thing called adenosine. Adenosine is something like our hunger. Like many things, we have hunger for food, we have a hunger for knowledge, we have hunger for love and relationship, and like that we have hunger for sleep. When we have adenosine, by over the period, in the morning it will be very low. In the morning, 6 o'clock and 7 o'clock, it will be almost plummet down to almost ground level, 0 at 7. Then gradually it rises. Afternoon, it will rise considerably to a level that we will feel like, we will start to feel like sleepy. And we will have, with that, as a sister hormone, melatonin also will go up. Adenosine and melatonin will bring our sleep drive to its max. So adenosine is very important in driving our sleep and during sleep. When we start our sleep, we feel like, our hunger is coming down. Our sleep hunger is coming down. So adenosine will gradually come down during the course of sleep. So that is something about adenosine. Cortisol and melatonin, another important thing. Cortisol is our performance hormone, of course. It makes us agile, it makes us active, it makes us oriented, and it gives a lot of good thing, especially in the morning hours. But persistent peak cortisol can, in long term, and untimely cortisol can bring in much dangerous damages to our body, of course. So cortisol and melatonin, again, it has a seesaw effect. Cortisol will come up, melatonin will go down. During night, we'll be having a very low level of cortisol and a very high level of melatonin. So, like sepia and lacrisis. These are the major hormonal channels which drives and derivate our sleep. What is the importance of sleep? Why it is so important? Without water, how many days we can survive? We may survive for maybe 3 to 4 days. And we can go even beyond 20, 25 days without any food. But like water, sleep is very important. We cannot go like 20, 25 days. We can hardly go like 5 or 6 days, in rare cases, 7 days. And in very extreme case, people have with controlled scenario, for researchers, they tried even 15, 20 days of sleeplessness with proper monitoring and all. But usually 6 to 7 days of sleep, you will have critical biological hazards in your system. So that is the biological importance of sleep. Sleep has a physical health importance. It controls our immune system. And one night of poor sleep alone can reduce 70% of your natural killer cells in your system, in your immunity. Coming to heart health, less than 6 hours of sleep can reduce, for long term, can reduce 24 higher risk of heart attack. Again, coming to weight regulation, post sleep increase ghrelin. Ghrelin, you must have heard of that. Ghrelin is our hunger hormone. Give me food. It cries always. Give me some food. Give me some food. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Ghrelin is the hormone that sleep will reduce the influx of ghrelin. Okay, if you have a lower sleep quality, you will have a higher hunger, more eating, more weight gain. So sleep will bring more leptin, of course. It will bring down the ghrelin down. Ghrelin is the hunger hormone. On the contrary, leptin is the fulfillment hormone, satiety hormone. So sleep, a better sleep, a proper sleep will give you adequately enough leptin in your system. So you will feel, controlled hunger. So this is the ghrelin-leptin relation, and sleep has a mental health. As we said about REM sleep and stage 2 sleep and stage 3 sleep, all these have a lot of thing in our mental health. It will give us focus and attention. It can help us problem solving, creativity and decision making is another thing. It will help us to store our memory properly in its repository. And again, it gives us a lot of alertness and safety kind of feature for our brain. It will give us focus again. So that is the mental and kind of cognitive benefits of sleep. Sleep and emotional health. REM sleep. The Morpheus, the son of Pasiti and our hero, Dr. Hypnos. Morpheus plays a great role during the REM sleep in emotional balance. So all those dreams are, even if you have a bad dream, it neutralizes a lot of bad emotions. It's kind of discharge of emotions through sleep. So it is not a bad thing always. You have a bad dream. Doesn't mean that you don't have to address it. You have to address it in many ways, including our medicine. But it is not always bad. It is a kind of emotional event, uh, uh, emotional outlet of our system called bad dreams. So good dreams and bad dreams all are good. Sleep deprivation is linked to irritability, anxiety, and a kind of low motivation and drives for many things. Okay, as you are dull and drowsy during days, you won't feel like you are motivated. You feel like you're tired and you don't feel like you want to work. Another important thing is our affective state, or called emotional depression and mood disorders. Okay, so good, especially sleep hormone melatonin plays a important role in regulation of our vitamin D, of course. So depression, mood disorders, melatonin, serotonin, all these are related, and these are all not isolated or work in silos. So these are all important in its own terms and places. Let us look into stages of sleep. As you know, we have already discussed about the 4 stages and those major heroes and their roles. So there are 4 stages, of course. Stage 1 is otherwise called N1, is alpha stage or transition stage, or Alice in Wonderland stage. We fall into a wonderful world of sleep, and during alpha stage, it is neither we are asleep nor we are awake. So this during that sleep, we have a lot of, things happening. Our muscle tone will be reduced, and we will be gradually going into our sleep mode. Our brain activities will reduce during stage 1, of course, and stage 2 is theta stage. As this, it is 50% of our stage 1 is hardly 5% of our sleep, but it will be in multiple stages. Stage 1 is not always at the beginning of your sleep. We'll have stage 1 in multiple occasions in your sleep. Sleep is not a single. We will talk about that in a sleep rhythm, of course. In stage 1 is 5% of our whole stage. Stage 2 is the biggest and bulkiest of our stage. Almost 45 to 50% is stage 2. Again, it is regulatory mode. Our brain will be coming down, activity will be coming down, muscle tone will be lowering, of course, and still we will be having spindles of brain waves. This is very important in our sleep. Brain wave spindles will give a lot of cognitive benefits for your sleep, for your brain. Okay, coming to this stage. Usually, in even when I was talking, learning about sleep physiology, we got an impression that stage 2 is a, not a good stage of, just superficial, is light sleep, otherwise called. It's not a deep sleep. So it is not a kind of restorative sleep, but it is still a sleep that have a lot of, benefits. It is not like that you have lost a lot of quality of sleep while you are having this 50% of this, stage 2 sleep. Still, it has a value. But the great benefits are coming from stage 3 and 4 and REM stage. Okay, otherwise called K or delta stage. In K and delta stage, it is bodily restorative phase. We have already talked about that. Tissue repair will happen. All this hardware repair will be happening there. Tissues, your bones and joints, your ligaments and organs, immune boosting, physical recovery. You do workout, for example. You do a lot of physical activities. You do a lot of physical job during day, like a manual job, labor. Okay, so you need to repair your system. You need to repair your body. So stage 3 or bodily restorative stage is almost 20% of your sleep. It should be approximately 20% of your sleep. It should not be 10 or 12, less than 15. So this is a critical thing. Most often, many are losing and missing. So this is where we clinicians focus a lot in improving the stage 3 and 4, or REM and delta stages. Body respiratory phase, where growth hormone will be produced, physical recovery will be recovery will be happening, and all. Okay, repair, tissue repair, immune boosting. So next stage is the REM stage. All the other stages are NREM, non-rapid eye movement stages. The fourth one is again almost 20-25%, which is a very crucial thing for our brain, otherwise called mental restorative sleep. Here, brain is highly active, of course. Unlike other sleep stages, other sleep brain will be highly inactive. But REM, our brain will be very active. It will consolidate your memory. It will, during those time, during the later part of stage 3 and REM stage, our body will be kind of paralyzed. It is called sleep paralysis or sleep paralysis. So it is a kind of mechanism that help us to rejuvenate, help us to arrest our body movements, to focus, and give a lot of other benefits. So it is very important. So during, your dream phase of REM phase, if your body is mobile, that can bring a lot of, problem. In somnambulism, this is the mechanism we see failed in many cases. So people will, while they dream, they walk. So somnambulism, one of the things where we see this REM sleep is disrupt, a kind of body paralysis is disrupt. So that is how it is. Coming to cycles of sleep, we will be having multiple cycles of all these 4 stages. It is not one long REM, one long stage 1, one long stage 2. No, we'll be having a kind of 90 to 120 minutes of one sleep cycle. And from 7 to 8 hours of sleep, we'll be having multiple cycles of 90 minutes. Like during the early stage, it can be 90 minutes. Next stage, it can be 95 minutes. Vice versa. It's not, there is no hard and fast thing, but approximately 90 to 120 minutes of cycles will be repeated many a times, like 4 to 5 times. If you get 6 cycles, you are lucky. You have a lot of, you will enjoy a lot of REM benefits. REM benefits will happen later part of your sleep towards morning. So more cycles, you will be highly likely to enjoy REM sleeps. So that is what it is. So we'll be having multiple cycles of 90 minutes of sleep or 95 minutes of sleep. Okay. So that is how the sleep cycles will happen. So let us go into the composition of sleep. There are 4 major stages. One is deep sleep. One is REM sleep. Another one is light sleep. There is another sleep stage, otherwise classed awake stage. In between, you will be awake multiple times. Almost 2 to 3% of sleep is you are awake, even sometimes without knowing. But in between your sleep cycles, okay, there will be a small stage of wakefulness. Often you remember that in the morning, sometimes. But this wakefulness sometimes go a bit extra. It may protract it. That is how we disrupt our sleep. That is how we fall into insomnia kind of things. So this is a very critical place where we often slip ourselves and we fall into a stage of insomnia. So that is a big, usually it is less than 4% of our entire sleep. Okay. Or it is somewhere between alpha and awake. Otherwise, we can call in a pre-alpha. Okay. So that is what it is. So we will be having various stage. While we miss our REM, it can lead to a lot of emotional imbalance and it can cause a lot of memory issues as well. So longer your sleep, better your memory, better your emotions. And longer doesn't mean that long for everyone. And we will be dealing that area in another session. We'll talk about sleep chronotype and various types of sleep personalities, in that different personality need different length of sleep. Okay. And there are different kinds of dreams. Let me just briefly talk about sleep. Stress dreams are there. Okay, stress dreams, and there will be that will be, the content will be mostly of anxiety and worries, and it will be less intense, of course. This is the milder sleeps. Bad sleep, of course, mild sleep. There can be euphoric sleep, nice sleep, positive sleep, of course. There can be stress sleeps, and you can have nightmares. In nightmares, in the almost all content of stress, anxiety and worries can be, stress dreams can be there, but in much higher intensity. And content can be often threaten your safety, your life. Sometimes somebody is stabbing you, somebody is trying to kill you, and you are falling from a great height. These are kind examples of nightmare. Okay, and and you will wake up panting and gasping. So this is something about night dreams. And in Greek heroes, there is a villain there called Phabetor. Phabetor is the Greek character for nightmares. Okay, from there we got the word phobia, and all these Greek heroes, we took them to our language. Okay, so that is about REM and nightmares, REM and other things. So common nightmares are falling, being chased, death and all. Falling is the most commonest of all nightmare, 64% of that. And being chased, often I have this nightmare, 63%. Death is again 54%. And natural disasters are 31%, very lower one. And disease to friends and family, according to the data, it is very lowest of the nightmares, only 27% of that. Again, our dreams can tell our about a conscious life, of course. You analyze your dreams. We, give a lot of importance in repertorization about the dreams, of course. And if you extend that knowledge of repertorization, knowledge of dreams into dream analysis, you'll get a lot of personality trait analysis about the patient's cognitive behavior and all. And Sigmund Freud and all the other cognitive or psychoanalyst doctors, scientists have put a lot of importance for dreams and sleep in their psychoanalytic science as a tool. According to Sigmund Freud, these are the release of suppressed emotions of your subconscious. So that is what Sigmund Freud talked about. Okay, that is the mainstream take about dreams still now. Next thing is, how can we understand the quality of sleep? Whether we are sleeping properly, whether we are getting a restful sleep, are we well in place with our sleep? Let us examine what is QQRT. There's something about, this is the acronym for 4 things: quality, quantity, regularity, and temperature. Okay, if you have a very good sleep, you need to understand how you qualify your sleep as a good quality sleep. Not all sleeps are created equal. Even if you sleep 8 hours or 9 hours, doesn't mean that you have a quality sleep. Very often, in many cases, you can have fragmented sleep, waking up frequently, restless and tossing and all, and you will be having a very low span of N3 and a very extra long span of N2 or stage 2, and a shorter span of N3 can be a bad idea for you. And even shorter span of REM also is a bad quality sleep. You need a long enough REM, long enough N3 or deeper stage of sleep. So that is another parameter of quality. And how you can these are all something beyond your reach. Something you can understand during the next day is about your feeling, how you feel, how you function, sensations and functions and your feelings. Okay, so whether you feel refreshed, focused, emotionally regulated, next day, that means you have a restful sleep. If you feel irritable, dull and drowsy, you had a bad sleep night. Okay, so that is the simplest thing you can where you can understand the quality of sleep. And a quick tip about quality of sleep: you can minimize caffeine, minimize alcohol, minimize screen exposure. One complaint I have about our program is that we usually sit longer hours during our webinars, even myself, for many webinars. In fact, we are not doing a sensible thing for our body. So as much as possible, we need to reduce light exposure, artificial light exposure, screen exposure and caffeine and alcohol and all, for getting a proper quality sleep. Coming to quantity of sleep, we need approximately 6 to 7 hours of sleep. 8 hours is still better. 9 hours is great. And for babies, maybe 10 to 12 hours. Small babies, or 13 or 15 hours is still good for them, because they need a lot of growth hormones. So you can say that it's a range of 6 to 9 hours of sleep is needed. Person to person, it can vary. Somebody sleeps in 6 hours is enough. Somebody 9 hours would be needed. So it is what it is, a quantity. Okay, it should be regularly like that. Quantity means it is regularity. It is not the size. The regularity is again very important in quantity of sleep. Okay, you need to have a regular kind of thing. So if you do not have this enough quantity, you will be having cognitive decline, metabolic issues, and your immunity can be reduced. When you have lower quantity of sleep, REM and sleep stage 3 are usually affected, not stage 2. 1 and 2 by default you will be having, but longer your sleep, shorter your sleep, you will be missing stage 3 and 4. So there will be cognitive decline, metabolic issues, reduced immunity. These are all the side effects or the toll you pay when you have a quality challenge of your sleep. Sleep is not a luxury, it is or an option. It is the biological minimum full body recovery, essential for your body. And when we talk about quantity, it is we have another 5-6 minutes, right? Okay.
5 minutes.
Yes. Okay. So when we talk about quantity, it is not 4 plus 4 is 8. In sleep, 4 plus 4 is not 8. 8 is 8. So you need to have an undisrupted, or a regular kind of 8 hours in one stretch, as much as possible. So that is very important, regularity. And third one is regularity, going to bed and waking at the same time. Irregular sleep can disrupt your hormone release. It can affect your digestion. It can, of course, create a lot of performance issues, a lot of issues with your daytime performance. So regularity will give a kind of better composition of your circadian rhythm, your daytime, night hormonal, challenges are well performed when you have a regularity in sleep. So it is a place where we can regulate your hormones. It is where you can pick and catch and work on your hormonal disruptions. PCOD, diabetes, and a lot of other conditions. You start your reversal process playing with your sleep, especially keeping in mind about the regularity of sleep. And regularity improves your hormonal thing like melatonin timing, serotonin, melatonin, all the other kind of things. For example, cortisol and all the hormones will be regulated while we having a regularity in our sleep. Our clock will be properly working. So that is one thing. Another one important thing is temperature. Body temperature, so core body temperature has a lot of things to do with your sleep. Okay, 1% down of your body temperature, 1 degree Celsius of it, body temperature will initiate and maintain your sleep. During night, your core body temperature will be usually 1 to 2 degrees Celsius down, approximately 3 to 4 degree Fahrenheit. Okay, cooler your room, cooler your hot climate. It is very difficult for us to sleep unless we are a regular inhabitant of warm temperature. And warm bath is sleep promoting one. So you may ask, if cold climate is good for sleep, how a warm bath can promote your sleep? Warm bath will shift your temperature from the core to surface. So that will bring a decrease in the core temperature and cool down your core temperature. So cooling down your core temperature is more important in regulating the temperature. That will promote your sleep. So quality, quantity, regularity, and temperature. Let me just wind up with giving you a nutshell of the sleep things with some tips and all. Okay, you should go to sleep at the same time. For regularity is very important. Timing is very important. Exercising and exposing yourself to natural sunlight during the day. For example, morning sunlight, for example, is very important for your sleep after several hours. Morning exposure to sun or a sun strataka or a yoga in sunlight, or even you do a morning walk during sunlight will help a lot many hours after to have a better sleep during night. Okay, avoiding nap during evening hours. And no, nap is good, of course, in the morning hours, not afternoon. Okay, and abstaining from caffeine, alcohol, and heavy meals during the later stage of your evening, close to sleep. You need to avoid even heavy meals. And afternoon, you need to avoid caffeine and alcohol, and engage in relaxing activity towards evening, like listening to music and reading something very light. Okay, and create a dark, quiet bedroom or sleep sanctuary, otherwise we call that, for promoting a better sleep. Okay, and during our next topic, we'll talk about myth about sleep, champion mindset, sleep and sleep hygiene, power down or thing, and the sleep disorders versus sleep uh, uh, disordered sleep, and we will teach you about 90 minutes of sleep, calming down your body kind of things.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, Dr. NAJEEB AHAMMED, it's really an excellent session indeed. And you really show how important sleep is and what is the mechanism behind sleep and what are the hormones that acts during sleep or before sleep and how it works in each condition, what time one required for sleep and all those things were described. But since we have to cut short the time in 1 hour, we can have some more sessions on the same subject so that we will have a better knowledge of sleep and then we
uh,
can have a session with the homeopathic treatment also. That's very, very
yes,
important. Definitely,
sure.
this much of thing is never we thought about this much of things. That is the reason why your heading itself is sleep 101. Exactly. There are more than 102 reasons behind sleep and sleeplessness. Anyway, I am inviting Dr. Ram Paresha sir to say a few words on this session. Please unmute.
Thank you, Dr. Dhanesh ji, and everyone. Namaskar and congratulations, Dr. NAJEEB AHAMMED sir. Very nice, excellent session. Sleep
Thank
and sleepland. Sleep, sleep जो है, sleep depend in mental health.
you.
Longer sleep is the better. Say sleep disturbance, emotional and other cause disturbance sleep. Better sleep, longer sleep is a better. Very, very thanks, Dr. NAJEEB sir. Thank you.
And now it's the time to say what are thanks. I'm inviting Dr. Shobhana Ramamurthy to say what the Ramorma to say what are thanks. Dr. Shobha? No, she's not there. Anyway, we are very happy with such a wonderful session from Dr. NAJEEB AHAMMED and those who participate in the session. And tomorrow we will have a session from Dr. Luis Term from Brazil. And he will be talking about homeopathic approach in severe cases, ICU, cancer, acute and chronic cases. He has more than 35 years of clinical experience and he's an allopathic doctor turned homeopath and he's doing work in IC with the homeopathic medicine. So that will be an excellent session. Hope all of you will join us tomorrow. And once again, I am inviting all of to join the celebration of IFPH 5th anniversary on September 28th at Vivanta Cochin, Taj Vivanta Cochin from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Hope all of you will register for the same rupees 3,000 per head. As you know, it's a 5-star hotel and it's at the heart of Cochin. Please register yourself. We will be looking forward for your registration and those who are unable to come over here can contribute some amount for this purpose because we are doing excellent work in promoting homeopathy among public as well as among doctors and connecting between you. So if you are not able to come over here, you can make a very good contribution for this purpose. Thank you all. Good night. Thank you once again, Dr. Naji, for such a beautiful session. Thank you.
Yeah.
Definitely, we can arrange the second session as per your convenience later.
Sure, sure, sure.
Okay, it's over to Dr. Mariama John to moderate the Malayalam session.